Hi Zaheer.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great.
Zaheer, today we are in Hyderabad. I came from Malaysia to anchor our alumni event. And I was actually quite surprised to see you. It was a very pleasant surprise. So thank you very much for joining
My pleasure.
the alumni event today. And as a provost of Harriet University, Malaysia, I'm very passionate about purpose and impact. And there is one question that my students know that I'm going to ask them whenever I see them. You know that question, right?
Yeah.
Where is that question?
What is your impact statement?
That's right. And the impact statement is actually something that all of our students, they start their academic journey with us by developing. It's a statement of self-awareness represented by the I am statement. It's a statement of clarity of purpose through the purpose statement. And it's a statement of action through the action statement, where we basically articulate the actions that we want to take to mobilize our purpose into a positive impact on the world. So when did you start your journey with Harriet University in Malaysia?
It was during the COVID time in 2021.
Right.
Yeah.
So like every other students, you've developed an impact statement. And do you still remember it?
I actually don't remember it right now on top of my head, but yeah.
Sure. Which is fine.
Yeah.
You completed a degree in computer science and you graduated which year?
2024.
2024.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, and we are just at the beginning of 2025. This is April 2025. Yeah. So this is quite interesting. The people that know you the most, what would be your superpower? What do you think they will say it is?
I'd say motivating them to go and do the things they like and they love. That makes them happy, I'd say.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what probably your parents would say, maybe your siblings, your friends.
Yeah.
Okay. And
pushing them.
And do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you motivate? How do you motivate them? What is your pathway to motivating them?
I'll give you a classic example.
Please.
For example, my friend, he wants to play cricket. Let's say. But then he's unsure about himself. Maybe his fitness, let's say, for example.
Sure.
Maybe his fitness is bad. So, and then he says, oh man, I don't think I can get this done. I don't think I can get that done.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, what I do is let them know that they can do it. That's the number one thing and the most important thing, that you can do it.
Right.
Now, how can they do it? We can figure that out. But the first thing I do is push them and give them reasons on why they can do it.
Okay.
Right? So, okay, if you don't have good fitness, we can work on it.
Okay.
But then that should not be the reason why you're giving up your dream of playing cricket.
Great.
That's an example.
So that's a very good example. Now I want you to remember things that happened in the past 3 months where you felt the proudest or the happiest or you felt at your best. What were these things?
Okay, so one of them was I was going on a bike, going back home, and then there was this big accident, right? And then there was a lot of commotion, people screaming, and one is crying in the corner, and which is pretty common to happen, right? And the accident happened right in front of my eyes, like the whole car went upside down, right? And then the thing I felt most proud about, since you're asking, is what I did was I went there, and then since I have a pretty loud voice, I screamed and told everybody to calm down first, since there were women inside the car crying, and reaching out for help. And then when I screamed and told everybody to keep quiet, there was suddenly silence, and then everybody started focusing on one thing at a time, and not one saying, oh, remove the older man, and then one screaming, oh, remove the lady, and then one screaming, oh, remove the child. But then once I went in there, I was able to take control, and then everything after that was pretty calm, and then the police arrived, and everything was fine. Yeah, so I would say that one thing.
Yes.
My life's not been pretty like adventurous in the past 3 months, but this was one thing that was.
Do you have other examples?
I'd say,
just so that you know, I'm trying to listen and find similarities or commonalities, just so that you know what I'm trying to do while I'm listening to you.
I can understand that. I'd say I was trying to finish this this course, something related to data science. So I was procrastinating a lot. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it today. I'll do it after this prayer. I'll do it then. But then I actually ended up completing that like a week ago. It took me around 2 months, but I was able to do it. The one thing that really helped me was doing smaller chunks every day. Like just keep doing it. Don't take a break. Even if you're doing only 20 minutes a day, just do it. And then 2 months later, I was able to finish it off. But the same thing, if I plan to do like, oh, let me do 2 hours today, and then I just don't touch it for 2 weeks.
Right.
That never worked out. So then I figured this solution was better. And that's one thing I'm really proud of, because I was procrastinating that a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So in both examples, I'm trying to sort of reproduce what I've heard to you in different way to see whether it makes sense or not. So you are, in a way, in both examples, were able to take a situation that was probably uncertain, and you were able to provide some certainty. Does that make sense?
Very much.
Right. And do you think that is something that might describe you? You through your presence, you could provide certainty. Is that again? Please push against it.
Yeah. So I feel now that I think about my examples, I feel I think we're on the same page. I agree with you.
Yeah. And do you think that this might be an indicator of your superpower?
Yeah.
Do you think you are a person that via your presence people feel secured, feel certain, feel a bit more confident? Do you think that is really your?
I feel that. Yeah. I don't want to talk good about myself, but now that you're saying, yeah.
So this is. I want you to be open with me and don't judge yourself. This is not about having a fear of I'm being self-promotional.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I know.
No,
that feeling's there.
Just be.
That feeling's there. Yeah.
So I wanted to be aware of it.
Yeah.
And say I acknowledge you, but I'm working now with Mushtak on something that's very
100%.
important. Yes, let's work. So tell this to yourself.
Yeah.
So do you think this is something that is foundational to you? Do you think this is your superpower? And before you say anything, I want you to be open to it, because actually when you get it, if you really get something that is a discovery, you will feel like a goosebump moment. You feel like, oh my goodness, yes, this is it. Yeah. So yeah, do you feel this is, because I'm trying to work with you towards reaching I am this.
Yeah.
And this is really like, this is me. This is me.
Yeah. Okay. So now that you've talked me through it, I really feel that, yes, I think I can handle situations, and maybe my presence does actually help, control the situation, right? And after you talk me through it, I really feel, I agree with you. I agree on where we're heading.
Right.
Yes.
What do you hate most?
What do I hate? I feel in the past, it used to be the fear of, maybe saying something to somebody that may stick with them in a negative way. And that's one. Number two is, when I achieve something which is substantially great, but then in my head I'm like, oh, that's actually common. For example, graduating. A lot of people came and congratulated me. Hey, you graduated computer science. Congratulations. I saw your video on Instagram. It was amazing. But then for me, it's like, oh, it's just graduation. Everybody does it. But then, what I'm trying to say is lowballing your own achievements, since you have a lot of expectations for yourself, which is amazing. Either case, it's a good thing. But sometimes I feel now that appreciating even the small wins helps in the long run. So yeah, lowballing.
And is that something that you hate, that you've been, you're lowballing yourself? Is that something that...
I feel sometimes yes. I feel sometimes yes. Not every time, not for everything that I do. Sometimes I'm very happy, but I think depends on a person's mood.
So I'm trying to connect this back to because you see the beginning of the work that we've done, we are looking at the positive side, which we talked about, maybe providing a sense of security, a sense of certainty. And I'm trying to actually find what is the opposite for that, because if it is true, then the opposite would be the thing that you hate maybe most. So is it possible for us to frame this as when you don't provide that support, certainty for yourself, when you, in your words, lowballing yourself or looking down on your achievement? Does that make sense?
That's where I can stop, because
Sure.
I don't think so.
Good.
Right? I
Good.
don't think so that I lowball my achievements, but I think that's something that I would hate. Let's put it that way. I would if I did it.
Right.
An example, like the university graduation thing.
Yeah.
That's an example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I suggest, again, this is a suggestion for you
Sure,
to feel,
please
does
go
it
ahead.
fit? And then we reshape.
Yeah.
So if you were to say, I am a secure base, would that, you think, describe you?
For others? Because that's where...
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, for others I can say yes. Yeah.
And when does not fit for yourself?
Because...
Besides others, who else would see you?
Okay, this is how I would like to put it.
Sure.
Because a lot of times is with others, you want to motivate them, so they go, because they've already planned what is good for them.
Yeah.
So you don't have to give your opinion on what's right and what's wrong. They just want that security to go ahead, because they're just unsure if the thing that they thought about is good for them or not. So what do? You push them. No, man, try it. But with yourself, you have to decide a lot of things. Sometimes you're like, oh, what if this is not right for me? What if that is not right for me? What if I do that, but I end up there? What if I do this, but that actually works out, but I never took that path? That's a kind of unsurety that a lot of people have, and which I think sometimes I do have as well. So I'd say a secure, I'd say a secure base for myself too. I think secure base, for everybody in general, even for myself.
So how do you feel about that? Because I felt for a moment that almost like while you're talking, you discovered something and you sort of changed your view or saw that the situation clearer. Can you explain that to me?
Now that, as I mentioned before, now that we're talking through it, you figure out some things. I never thought about this. I never thought about me being a secure base for people. Now that you've mentioned it, I kind of relate with it, right? Because, when you think about your experiences, or better to say introspect on the experiences you've gone through, that's when you really, really realize who you are, right? Now, so I think, now that we're talking through it, I think, secure base would be a pretty pleasant word to use.
Good.
Yeah.
So would you be, at least in an interim kind of way, happy to use I am a secure base as your I am
100%.
statement?
In fact, I'd say let's do it, because not even interim, I feel it's a good, pretty decent, above interim way to describe the situation.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that's your
Yeah.
I am statement.
Yeah.
Great. So now let's try to work on the purpose statement.
Purpose.
And my question to you is, if you had the ability to change one thing in the world, one thing, what would that be?
Yeah. So I have a pretty good answer for this, and I've thought about it before. Okay. So you see, a lot of times when somebody is going through something, okay, and you actually know he caused it himself. Like he put that problem onto himself.
Right.
By his mistake or whatever. Perfect? Now, you see, we're humans. We make mistakes.
Sure.
And now let's start with scenario 1, right? Is, hypothetically speaking, you did something wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. And now all hell's been broken loose on you, right? And I'm your best friend, your best buddy. You know,
You are my secure base.
100%. Oh, that's a good one. So you come up to me. Okay, in this example, I'm your insecure base. Okay, scenario 1.
Yep.
And then you come and tell me that, yo, you know, I lit my hotel room on fire because, you know, whatever reasons. Maybe you were doing something and you just lit the whole room. Now it's 100% your mistake. But you didn't mean to burn down the whole place.
Okay.
You didn't mean to do it, but it happened.
Okay.
Right? Now, you know what happens? Scenario 1, the person is like, oh, you're so, you know, you don't have attention when you're working. Why are you like this? You know, stop being like this. You know, you burn down the hotel. Next time you're going to burn down your whole house, and etc., etc.
Right.
Right. Scenario 2, you come and tell me the exact same thing. Right. You see, at first.
So I'm very sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, but my question is, what would be the one thing you want to change in the world?
I'm coming.
So please go to that, huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the second scenario is, when you come to me, I first listen to what you said, and I try to work on the problem and not actually what caused the problem. Because this is a situation where you can't, you know, go fix the whole room in 1 second, right?
Right.
So the one thing I would like to change is, you know, at least within myself and people around me, is when somebody comes and tells you their trouble, their issue, let's first acknowledge their feelings. You know, not make them feel bad because they're already in a bad situation themselves, right? So what I would like to change is people not nagging, oh, you caused this, oh, you did this. On the other hand, I would like people to, you know, and myself too, that, okay, man, stuff has happened, and then later I can explain to him that, okay, what he did wrong and what he could have done. But at that point, let's help the person fix the issue first. So in your case, maybe go talk to the management and see what happens, the fines and etc., etc.
Right.
So the end statement would be, first fix the problem and not nag the person about what mistake he did. Not, you know, let him down, put him down. In fact, tell him, okay, I understand, we can fix it, we'll go through it, and then you go through with it.
So this is actually quite powerful, because I'm seeing a connection between the I am statement and this thought.
Yeah.
Are you seeing that as well?
I can 100% see it.
Right. Okay. So this is about being non-judgmental. Is that a dimension for that?
Yeah. I mean, in either case, you came up to me, so I'm technically a judge, but just don't make him feel that he's being judged. Let's focus on the issue first, and then if you're a wise man, you can later on, tell him that, okay, next time be a bit careful, and you can focus on his issue. But the first thing is the problem that we fix.
Okay, great. So I think you are really moving very smoothly in that direction. So I want you to think, if we're to put this as my purpose is, how would you describe it in as succinct manner as possible? And in the beginning, the grammar won't fit and the language would be a bit clunky. That's fine. Let's just. So I want to see this while the thought is fresh in your mind, because that thing, if you do it. So remember, my question was at the beginning, what would you change?
Yeah.
So the purpose would be almost the opposite of that, which is what would happen when you've changed the world in the way that you wanted. So people now, they are not, you said they're not nagging and making the person feel bad when they are in a bad situation, and then now you are supportive, you are solution driven, you are all of these positive things that you do. So if you were to put it, my purpose is, how would you describe it?
Let's say I am a zero base. My purpose is to change the way we respond to others when they're in great troubles.
Yeah.
Now let's make it concise.
Yeah. Now before this, so there will be multiple pathways to this. So one of them could be, my purpose is to create a world in which people are heard and challenges are addressed, or something like that. So that would be one way. Or it could be, my purpose is to be the person who does that. So that's another way, because the purpose could be different things. So just
I feel that's a good one.
Okay, go for it, and then try to use your own words to do it.
My purpose is to be the person that makes others feel secure and heard. Does that make sense?
Of course.
By your experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my purpose is to make people feel heard, acknowledged, understood when they are at their lowest point, when they are being challenged or something around these lines.
Going through hardships.
Or
Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Or
concise.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how would you say it?
I'd say, I would like to be the person that
my purpose is to be the...
my purpose is to be the person that makes others feel heard and acknowledged when they're going through their hardships.
My purpose is to make people feel heard and acknowledged when they're going through hardships. How about that?
Yeah.
Do you feel it?
Strongly. Now that we've talked through it.
Right.
Yeah.
So put it together. I am
a stable, I'm a secure base. My purpose is to make people feel heard and acknowledged when they're going through times of hardships. I think that's great.
Do you feel good about it? And of course, you can continue to change it and work on it.
Yeah, we can work on it.
Yeah.
But as of now, as a starting point, it's pretty decent, I'd say.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Any final reflections or thoughts?
Yeah, I feel it was an amazing conversation with you, sir, as always. And, thank you for having me here again.
Thank
you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.